Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. Very exciting day today because we have a battle against TheKillerNacho. I'm sure most of you already know who he is, but for those of you who don't, he is a very long-standing PokeTuber and one of the few more mainstream PokeTubers that I actually enjoy watching. This battle took place toward the end of his stream a couple of weeks ago, and as you can see, he has a pretty strong and well-balanced team there, so it is going to be a good match, and we're going to get into it. So, looking at the team preview, I was thinking he was going to want to lead with the Landorus to get a turn 1 Intimidate, Stealth Rock, and/or U-turn off. So he does indeed decide to lead with the Landorus, and I decided to lead with my Ferrothorn to counter that as best as I could. So he is going to get the Intimidate to lower my attack. And turn 1, he is going to go straight for the Stealth Rock to get the entry hazard set up on my side of the field early. So I actually just decided to do the same, go for the Stealth Rock to get the entry hazard set up on him right away as well. So this turn he is going to go for an Earthquake just to get as much damage as possible. I am max physical defense, so that's only going to take me down by about a third. And I'm going to go for a knockoff in return, which isn't going to do much of anything to him, kind of revealing he is more of a defensive set. I'm going to take damage from the Rocky Helmet and then get rid of that item. So this turn he is going to go for the Earthquake yet again, probably just trying to finish me off, but luckily I do survive that in the red with 10 health and go for a Power Whip, which is again not going to do a whole lot to him, but it is going to take him down to a little more than half. So this turn he is going to go for a U-turn, probably just in case I decided to switch. He gets a crit, which didn't matter, but he is going to take damage from the Iron Barbs and the Rocky Helmet, which is good, but that is going to be the end of my Ferrothorn, dropping me down to 5 Pokemon, and of course it is going to give him the mandatory switch, so he is going to come in with Toxapex and take some damage from the rocks, and then regain some health from the Black Sludge. So then I am going to come in with Articuno, and I am going to take half my health from the Stealth Rock, which is not good, but my pressure is going to come into play. And I am just going to go for a Roost here. I'm not really sure what he's planning on doing, but I want to get myself all the way back up to full health, which I do. And he actually just goes for the Scald. So that's not going to do a whole lot to me. And then I am going to regain some health with the Leftovers. And he is going to regain the rest of his health with the Black Sludge. So this turn he is going to go for a switch, probably predicting the Freeze Dry on my side. He is going to come in with Landorus, basically as fodder, take some damage from the rocks, and get the Intimidate to lower my attack. Not really going to matter since I'm a special attacker. And I do just go for the Freeze Dry, so that is going to be more than enough to finish off the Landorus and drop him down to 5 Pokemon as well. And I am going to regain more health with the Leftovers. So then he is going to come in with Terrakion and take some damage from the rocks. And of course that is going to force me to switch. I don't want to get taken out with a rock attack. So I'm going to come in with my Nidoqueen Elizabeth and take some damage from the rocks. So he goes for the Stone Edge and he actually misses, which is unfortunate on his side. So this turn he is going to switch out. Probably doesn't have any good moves to hit me with. So he is going to come in with the Toxapex and take some damage from the rocks. I just went for a Poison Jab, predicting a switch, but not into Toxapex, so that's not going to do much of anything to this thing. And then he is going to regain more health from the Black Sludge. So here he is going to go for a double switch, actually, probably predicting the ground move on my side. Going to come in with his Pelipper and take some damage from the rocks. And of course the Drizzle is going to activate to make it rain on the battlefield. And unfortunately, I did go for the Earthquake, hoping he would stay in, so he does get a free switch there. Not going to do anything to him. So I'm going to go for the switch this turn. I don't really have any good moves to hit this thing with, so I'm going to come in with my Primarina and take some damage from the rocks. He's just going to go for a Scald, which is not going to do much of anything to me. I am max special defense with an Assault Vest. So this turn he is going to go for a Hurricane, just trying to get some chip damage on me, I assume. That is going to take me down to a little above half. And I am going to fire off a Moonblast in return, which is going to knock this thing into the red, but it does survive with like 2 health, which was kind of unfortunate. That is going to let this thing go for another hurricane, which knocks me down to about 1/3 of my health, but I am just going to fire off a Scald in return, which is going to finish this thing off and drop him down to 4 Pokemon. So then he is going to come in with Alakazam, and he is not going to take any damage from the rocks, indicating that he is Magic Guard, but that's not really going to matter since he is going to go straight for the Mega Evolution into Mega Alakazam. And he is going to trace my Torrent, actually not really going to matter again, but he is going to go straight for a Psychic, trying to finish me off. But luckily for me, I actually do survive that in the red with 3 health and go for a Scald. It is actually powered up by the Rain and my Torrent ability now, so that is going to one-shot kill the Alakazam, dropping him down to 3 Pokemon. So then he is going to come in with Porygon Z and take some damage from the rocks. And here he is actually going to go for the Z move, which turns out to be the normal Z move, which is actually going to be the Z conversion. So that is actually going to change his type into the electric type and also buff all his stats. I'm guessing he was doing that hoping he could survive an attack from me, but I am going to go for the Scald, and it is just way too powerful with the Rain and the Torrent. That is going to one-shot kill the Porygon Z, dropping him down to 2 Pokemon. So then he is going to come in with Toxapex, and I do outspeed this thing, so I'm going to go for a Scald just to get as much damage as possible. I actually get the crit there, and that is going to knock this thing down to about 1/4 health, but it does survive. Go for a Scald in return on me, which is going to be enough to finish off my Primarina, dropping me down to 4 Pokemon, but definitely put in a whole bunch of work in that match there. So he's going to regain more health from the Black Sludge. So then I'm going to come in with my Gallade Seto Kaiba, and I am going to take some damage from the rocks. And of course I am going to go straight for the Mega Evolution into Mega Gallade. And I am just going to go straight for a Zen Headbutt. And I do connect with that, which is going to be more than enough to finish off the Toxapex, dropping him down to just 1 Pokemon. And that is going to be it for the Rain. So finally, he is going to come in with Terrakion and take more damage from the rocks. And he is going to go straight for a close combat here. I'm guessing that was probably his best move he had for me, but that is going to knock me down to about 1/3 of my health, but I do survive. It is going to lower both his defense stats, and then I'm just going to go for a close combat in return, which is going to be enough to take out the Terrakion with a critical hit. I'm not sure if it mattered or not, since his defenses were lowered, but that is going to be the end of the Terrakion, and that is game. So I won that one 4-0 against TheKillerNacho, but that was a very good game. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.